Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another Exhumed movie review. Today we are talking about The Old Dark House. Really quick though, before I get into any of that, I want to say thank you to my creepy patron peeps for supporting my channel. Thank you so much. If you want to find out the perks to being a creepy patron peep, you can follow that link in the description. Alright, so directed by James Whale and starring Boris Karloff, Melvin Douglas, and Charles Laughton, The Old Dark House follows several travelers who take shelter in an old mansion during a heavy rainstorm. The mansion belongs to the strange femme family and their servant Morgan, who gets drunk and runs amok and releases Saul, a pyromaniac who tries to kill the travelers and set fire to the mansion. So the film is based on the 1927 novel by J.B. Priestley of the same name. The movie also features Laughton in his very first Hollywood role, as well as Karloff in his first credited role, because in Frankenstein he was left anonymous until the end credits of the movie. Alright, so let's get into what I liked about The Old Dark House. I love the setting of the movie. It's old, dark, cold looking mansion, very isolated from anything, and then you throw in a just torrential downpour, completely ridiculous over the top storm, and it's lightning and thunder, and it's perfect. I loved how the set pieces were very sparsely used too. There was I felt like there was only the amount of furniture that was needed in each scene. It made the large rooms of the mansion look even larger because there wasn't a whole lot going on in the background by way of furniture. So I kind of get this idea that when the travelers get to this mansion, it kind of consumes them, because it's so large and imposing and just consumes them, and they become consumed by the house and the drama within the femme family, even though they're just supposed to be staying there for the night, So that's shown literally by showing the the large mansion and our travelers who are kind of dwarfed by the mansion. This movie is also listed as a comedy as well as a horror movie on IMDb, but I felt like the comedy was darker than some other horror comedies that I've seen from the 30s and the 40s. So it was a weird kind of humor, but I liked it. It was nothing like Abbott and Costello or anything silly like that, which is good in its own way, but I liked this kind of darker humor. It was a surprise, for a movie that's this age. Now let's get into what I didn't like about The Old Dark House. So I felt like the movie was kind of all over the place. I feel like really the main problem is there are just way too many characters. So we have 5 travelers that come to this house, and then we have the femme family, so there's 5 of them plus one more even that we don't see but is mentioned and is supposed to be in the house, and there's just way too many characters going on. So I kind of feel like everything was all over the place. And then of course, there are points where the travelers split up among the house and they're investigating different things and meeting other characters, and it's just all a bit much. It was hard to be focused on any one thing in this movie. I wanted to know more about the femme family, to be honest. I know that that wasn't, common for the 1930s or anything like that, but I feel like I just wanted to know more about the femme family because they kind of just seemed crazy. They were crazy and weird and kind of goofy in their own creepy weird way, and I liked it, and I just wanted more of them and less of the travelers. So I know this is gonna get ranty, but I know this is kind of a requirement of older movies, but why, oh why do all of these movies always have strangers that just meet at the beginning of the movie and then they fall in love and are getting married or about to get married at the end of the movie? This doesn't make any sense. Sandral, who meets Gladys literally in the mansion. There are 2 separate groups of travelers that come to stay at the mansion, so they meet that night, and literally before it's even morning, Penderel decides that he is going to marry Gladys. They decide that they're in love, and he decides he's gonna marry her, and then by the end of the movie, which is morning, so this whole movie lasts one night, he asks her to marry him. Ugh. I am the most hopeless of romantics. I grew up on Jane Austen. I love a good love story. as much as the next person. But at least her novels don't have people falling in love over the course of one evening. Like, it's just so unrealistic, and I hate that. And then on like, just it was just that on top of the fact that I wanted to know more about the family, and it wasn't as much about them, and like these two characters became like the main characters, and it was all about them, and oh, they're in love now, and I'm like, oh great, they met like 2 hours ago. It was unrealistic. Like, was this the way to get ladies to come to the movies back in the 30s? You had to have like some unrealistic love story thrown in there? Like, come on, ladies. So, was the old dark house worth it? Not really. Just compared to all the other great classic horror movies that came out in the 30s, I can kind of see why this one fell between the cracks, you know, of time. Like how it just kind of, you know, because we have like all the Universal monster movie pictures that were coming out around this time too, and I can kind of see why this one got lost a little bit. Although maybe it's just me that had never heard of this movie before, I don't know. The internet, however, does not agree with my 2 out of 5 rating, because on IMDb it has a 7.3 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes it has a 100% critic score and a 72% audience score, and on Letterboxd it has a 3.5 out of 5. So I watched this movie on Amazon, so over on my blog, which there's a link for in the description, on my Amazon affiliate page, there is a link to rent The Old Dark House on Amazon, so you can watch it there if you would like. There's no pressure to use that link, but if you do, it does help out the channel a little bit. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here, and become a Creepy Peep today. I post videos Monday through Friday, and you can ring that notification bell down there to be notified every time I post a video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye!